Unas,
Unas.
right? And
Yes.
the
One of the pharaohs of the four. We call Pharaoh, but I have to say two things. I've learned two things. Reading the glyphs, there's no such word as Pharaoh. It's Perah, number one, which means great house.
before you
No,
continue, what's the origin of the words? Where did they get this word Pharaoh from?
I'm going to tell you. Number two, Pharaoh is a Hebrew word that came from the Greek. It is not an Egyptian word. It does not exist. So when we say Pharaoh, we're calling it the name of the rulers of the occupiers of Egypt, the Greek, who came later. So it's a later term for the ruler, but it's not the term that the native or the local Egyptian, local Africans used themselves.
All right. Can you speak about the scriptures? I believe it's in his tomb, Unai.
Unas.
Yeah.
Well, Unas, who's a fourth dynasty king, or, the greatest, I think the best way to refer to these kings, there's not king, not pharaoh, but they were what the Pope tries to be. They were the number one holy person of the country because all of Egypt was nothing but a country of temples. And the most holiest ones formed a layer on the top, and out of that layer, they elect who would be the head priest. They had high priests. We know those titles. But they had the ultimate priest who came out of the high priest rank, became the head of the country. So Unas,
Unas.
when he's buried under his pyramid in his tomb, on the walls of his tomb, he believed in this scripture that they have been his priests. And the scripture really is about two things. It's about making peace with all the different elements of nature and making a prayer that it now can join a certain part of nature far off in death. And that place they want to join is the Belt of Orion. If you look at the Belt of Orion, there's 7 stars, and those stars are talked about in the Bible, especially in Revelation. But you have these 4 points on the end, and you have a belt of 3. And their prayer was for their spirit to join the energy of the universe on the end star on the left. So in these prayers, they talk about moral compass, that I am deserving of this because I have lived this kind of life. So in that moral compass, it then talks about Unas, it talks about their concepts. They're wrestling with issues of where am I, who are we, where do we go? They deal with the concepts of creation, with a moral compass that later became the 10 Commandments,
Is that also the Declaration?
the Declaration of Innocence. Because in the Declaration of Innocence is quite interesting how it became transformed. Because by the Egyptians who felt that it was the moral way to live is to take self-responsibility to live righteously. So their Declaration of Innocence, which are 42 of them, when you die, you're judged by these 42 judges, is one of, I have not. I have not committed sin. I have not committed adultery. I have not committed murder. It is your responsibility, your declaration of innocence, when you would go before the judge. It's not someone else telling you, taking the responsibility away from you and saying, thou shalt not. No, it's your voluntarily responsibility. I have lived a righteous life. And because I've lived a righteous life, I deserve to go and join my ancestors, my village of ancestors, of other righteous people. And the most righteous of those, when they die, their spirits, their souls ascend. Ascension is part of the Unas's scripture. They ascend to the heavens, and they ascend to the point in the sky of Orion's belt.
On Unas, right? What is the creation story that's on the wall?
The story of the water standing at noon, how the God from the sky, we're in this, the whole night sky is a sea of darkness, out of that sea of darkness comes the water, the mound, and out of that mound becomes creation, things, animals, and then out of that becomes a creator who spins his pottery wheel and creates humans. This is their creation story.